You get a free Trump hat today.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you. I admire his wit.
Why do you like Trump?
Because he's a smart man.
You want him? You want him back?
They shouldn't never let him go.
We need him back, don't we?
Well, yeah.
Are you going to vote for him next election?
Mm-hmm.
God bless you. That's right. God bless you. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So you are obviously a person of color like we are.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to not be Trump supporters. So what is it about Trump
You
that...
know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. I was talking to my husband about it earlier. And when I really started educating myself and informing myself on Donald Trump, one thing that I'm passionate about is human trafficking, that especially of children. And when I really started digging into it, I saw that Trump also is a huge supporter. He donated recently $35 million to support human trafficked survivors. Yep. That really struck a chord with my heart. And so when I started really looking into him, I'm about action, I'm not about words. Okay?
Yes,
I like the fact that he says what's on his mind. I like the fact that he doesn't say what he thinks people want to hear from him. And to me, I know everything that he's done for the black communities, and I stand behind him.
Beautiful.
100%. I'm not only a Trump supporter, I am a Trump lover. And for the longest time, I've been afraid to come out and say that.
Former President Trump suggested recently that his mugshot and his legal troubles are being embraced by black people because they understand what it's like to be targeted and discriminated against.
Here, it's repugnant and it's divisive. To traffic in racist stereotypes, that's what we have seen. And that affect all Americans, right? You're tearing up all Americans by doing this. It is, again, divisive and repugnant, and it's coming from, obviously, a former president of the United States. And in any context, it is profane to compare the long, painful history of abuse and discrimination suffered by black Americans.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It seems as if on a daily basis, the mainstream liberal media is getting a major reality check when it comes to how voters feel about Trump and the effect that these trials are having on his supporters. In fact, it seems like the opposite effect of what is intended from the mainstream liberal media and the Democrat Party is happening. These trials are making Trump supporters support the president even more. In fact, it is making some people switch over from the Democrat Party to support Trump because people are not stupid. They can see that these trials and these cases against Trump are political persecution from the Democrat Party. Everybody knows it. Everybody can see it. And if you can't see it, then you must be blind, right? As blind as Stevie Wonder, right? Or Ray Charles, because everybody can see what's going on, okay? Even the black voters in Georgia, who MSNBC is going to ask about their support of Trump and whether or not these trials are affecting their support from Trump. And MSNBC is going to get a reality check. So without further ado, let's get into it.
What did you hear?
Well, guys, good morning to you. You know, this is one of the most closely watched counties here in the key battleground state of Georgia. So it seemed like the perfect place to come out and talk to Republican voters and see all of the coverage, all of the things that we're talking about with this New York hush money trial. How is it impacting them down here? So I spoke with about 5 different Republicans, and they represent a very wide cross section, a very diverse group of Republican voters here in this county. And I asked them, how are they being impacted by this trial? Are they paying close attention? And what impact might a guilty verdict have on their decision to support the former president? Here's what they told me. Take a look. Do each of you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Yes. Yes for all 3 of you? Yes. Has this trial changed your opinion, even caused you to waver or question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more. I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So
ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Again, people are not stupid, man. People are not stupid. It's not a coincidence that all of these trials, at least the goal, was to have them happen right before the election. Every single last one of them, they wanted it to happen right before the election. You got 3 or 4 different cases. 5 different cases. I mean, E. Jean Carroll happened this year. The Letitia James business fraud case happened this year. Fannie Willis, she wanted it to happen this year. Jack Smith, classified documents, January 6th, wanted both of those to happen this year. Stormy Daniels happening this year. All right before the election. Right before the election. And you don't think that this is coordinated? You don't think that this is fishy? This is strange? Like, that this is not collusion? 100%. And again, this is what the voters can see. It's so obvious. It's in your face. And then the mainstream liberal media wonders why these trials are not having the intended outcome is because people aren't dumb. Everybody knows what's happening to this man.
So the question people are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, is like, why now?
It's pretty much everybody says they're picking on him. You know, people are tired of going after him, and you see it in so many areas. It's really not a big issue in the party. Actually, they're really making everybody mad, and they look at a big bully, and the government is the bully.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to motivate a lot of people to come out and vote. Okay, because a lot of people are not going to want to see Trump get thrown in prison, which will happen if he is not elected. Okay, because best believe they're going to try to get him on at least one of these cases, probably one of the Jack Smith cases. But if he's not elected, yeah, they're definitely going to throw the guy in prison for sure. So that is what this election is about. Thank God these trials aren't happening before the election, but people got to understand it's not over. If you want to see Trump not go to prison, because that's what they're going to do, you have to show up and vote. You got to show up and vote. That's just the reality. There's a lot on the line when it comes to this election. And that's not an exaggeration, because everybody says, oh, every election is the most important election of our lifetime. No, like, quite literally, we're talking about if Trump loses, he goes to prison. That's what they're going to do. So, yeah, you got to vote, right? This election is quite literally the most important election of our lifetime.
Be your first time casting a ballot. What is it for you that drives your support of the former president?
I think always fighting me. He's taken so much just defense from news and everything, but he still hasn't given up. He keeps fighting to do what's right.
I've talked to many people who formerly identified as a Democrat. They have changed their political persuasion to independent, and they are looking forward to voting for Trump. Wow. Because now they find something in common with a political candidate at that level.
When you said,
wow, amazing. People switching over. So not only are the trials not making people run away from Trump, they're making people run to Trump. Switch over because of what's happening. Amazing.
They find commonality. What is that commonality?
They have felt persecuted by the system of American injustice. And it's not a stretch for them to think that Trump may be a victim as well.
Wow. So again, the mainstream liberal media says, oh no, that's racist, right? When Trump said that, hey, I think a lot of black people support me because they feel like I'm being persecuted the way that black people has historically been persecuted in this country, which, typically the left would, they would be happy about the white man acknowledging that, hey, the black man has been treated wrong in this country, right? Historically, right? You think they'd be happy about that. But when Trump acknowledges that, though, oh, no, that's racist. That's offensive. Well, it seems like voters don't think that it's offensive. Only the mainstream media, the bourgeoisie blacks. Those are the people that think that it's offensive. But the real ones, it seems as if Trump was right. When Trump said that, he was telling the truth that, hey, what's happening to me, a lot of black people seem to be able to resonate with it, right? Now, again, he wasn't calling all black people criminals. He wasn't saying that, oh, black people resonate with me because they're criminals. That's not what he was saying. He was saying the historical persecution of black people when it comes to the criminal justice system, that is why a lot of black people kind of resonate with what I'm going through in my campaign. A two-tier justice system. Something that these people, the woke revolutionaries, they beg the white man to acknowledge. When the white man comes out and acknowledges it, and the white man happens to be Trump, oh, well, that's a problem. Again, it's racism. Biden can come out here, though, and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And these people will ignore it, right? They will ignore that. Again, it's just funny how that works.
We'll see that there's some kind of commonality between himself and maybe all the black men that have been incarcerated and the families that have been impacted by black male incarceration.
So you heard a lot there. That was the sum total of about 3 hours worth of conversation distilled down into those sound bites you heard. But let me just tell you a little bit about those voters. One of the people that you heard from was the chairman of the county GOP, the Republican Party here. We talked to a longtime volunteer, somebody who's out knocking on doors, talking to voters every single day. And then also in that group is somebody who is going to cast their ballot for the very first time this fall as a current 17-year-old. And so really what I heard among all of them, though, is that the trial only furthers their support of the former president in many cases, and that a guilty verdict would not impact their support. Now, let me tell you guys a little bit about Gwinnett County. This is why we're here. This is one of our 7 deciders counties, one of the ones that are going to be so crucial to deciding the election this November. It's a metro Atlanta suburb, as we know, is just outside of the city of Atlanta. This is the most diverse county in the state of Georgia. And according to the county GOP chairman, this county actually has the state's largest Republican voting bloc. And so that's why there's so much focus from the National Republican Party. That's why there's so much focus from locals here as well. But it's also important to point out, guys, that after 2012, this county flipped blue. It went blue in 2016 and the 2020 presidential races. And so, of course, it's being watched closely by Republicans, but also a lot of the Democrats that I'm speaking to as well. They see that this is also the key to winning Georgia in November, guys.
Some fascinating answers there. You got some reactions already.
Yeah, fascinating indeed. Not what they wanted to hear, right? Not what they wanted to hear. So, look, here's the thing. Once again, we can see that the mainstream liberal media and their smears of Trump, Trump racist for saying that black people can relate to him because of his cases. That's your racist. Right? This is what they said. But it turns out black people are not as dumb as the left thinks they are, right? I mean, we know that the left thinks that black people are dumb. I mean, look what Kathy Hochul said. She claimed that black kids don't know what a computer is, right? This is what she said, right? They think that black people are dumb as hell, okay? But it turns out there are a lot of black people that are not. They think that the American people are just stupid in general. This is why they gaslight the American people every chance they get when it comes to the border, the economy, whatever the issue is, crime. This is why they lie to your face. Because they think you're dumb. They think that you're just going to believe it. You're just going to go along with it. But that's simply not the case. I have faith that the American people are smarter than this, okay? And I'm hoping that the American people understand what's at stake in this election coming up, okay? I mean, we're talking about throwing the former president of the United States in prison if he loses. Not only that, we're talking about the economy. We're talking about the border. We're talking about potential war to war, right? Because, again, Trump kept the peace on the world stage. Biden, as soon as he got in office, everything fell apart. It's not a coincidence, man. None of these things are coincidences. They're not. What has happened to this country as a result of the Biden administration, their policies, and I hope that people understand that. So, hey, more bad news for MSNBC. Another reality check for them that their propaganda is not working. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.